Welcome back to ASEAN Newsroom.
The French finance minister has been named as the first woman to become the new leader of the scandal-rocked International Monetary Fund. Christine Lagarde has finally secured her position as the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, chief, replacing Dominic Strauss-Kahn, who resigned last month as managing director after being charged with sexually assaulting a New York City hotel housekeeper. Lagarde was opposed by Agustin Carstens, a Mexican central banker whose candidacy never caught fire. Even among developing countries, however, she fought off Agustin for the top job. She has brought support in Europe, where she has spearheaded the region's battle against the vicious and stubborn debt crisis. She has also won support from China and Russia. Lagarde is said to have backing from America and Europe and key emerging market nations, including China, India, and Brazil. According to the IMF statement, its 24-member board regarded both candidates as highly suitable for the job, but had decided on Lagarde by consensus. The new managing director expressed that once the results were in, she was honored and delighted that the board has entrusted her with the position of MD of the IMF, Lagarde said via Twitter minutes after the announcement. And with no further ado, I would like to bring in Secretary General of Securities and Exchange Commission of Thailand, Kun Thirachai Naranuban. Good evening, Kun Thirachai.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us this evening. In your opinion, what are some of the very first steps that Christine Lagarde needs to take to restore confidence in the IMF, which is now dealing with the Greece crisis and also other European countries?
Well, first, let me say that, in my opinion, Christine Lagarde, of course, she's a very intelligent person, and from the speeches that I have heard her, she also possesses a great deal of common sense. So I am sure that she has the potential, to lead the IMF towards the right path. But obviously, the IMF will have to show strong leadership in two important areas. The first one is, the resolution of the problem in Europe.
Right.
And the second one is to really usher in the role and enhance the role of the emerging market in the IMF. I think these are two very important areas that Christine Lagarde should pay attention to.
Now, the selection of Lagarde means that the developed countries has most of the bargaining power, which is contrasting to the developing countries, which seems to not have enough bargaining power. What do you think about this?
Well, this is why I think Christine Lagarde has to address the issue, about the role of the emerging markets, its importance, and how it should be introduced to be more active in the running of the IMF.
Right.
Starting with a review of the staff of the IMF, for example, to make sure that the representation of the emerging markets are there adequately, and also the voting power, which at the moment, is very much skewed in favor of the developed countries. This needs to be addressed to give more voting power, voting rights to the emerging market.
Right.
Now, Kun Thirachai, does the IMF have resources to deal with the sovereign debt crisis? Because the bailout for troubled economy in Europe is going to be very costly.
Well, this, in fact, is the one issue that I think Christine Lagarde has to pay top attention to. And this is the issue that she has to demonstrate that, even though she is from Europe, she can deal with the European problems in the right way. Here, it is important to recognize the fact that some of the countries in Europe.
Right.
At the moment has the level of debt, sovereign debts that exceed the ability to carry. The amount of debt repayment that they have to make each year, as well as the interest rates, that they have to pay each year, at the moment has ballooned.
Right.
To exceed the amount that they can that they have available to spend on social welfare, for example. For these countries, the most appropriate way, to solve the problem for these over-indebtedness countries is to write down some of the debt. Obviously, this is going to hurt. It is going to hurt the European banks. Because many of the European banks, have holdings of these sovereign debts, and they will make losses, and it will require the European governments, to go into these banks and recapitalize in order to strengthen the financial situation of these banks. But this is the most correct way to deal with this problem. To just roll over, the debt without cutting it down is simply to postpone the solution to this problem. And I think this is the issue that Christine Lagarde has to show leadership the most.
Right.
To show that she is independent from political pressure of European governments, because some European governments will prefer to just kick the ball forward and delay the day of reckoning into the future. She has to show leadership in resisting this.
I see. Well, thank you so much, Kun Thirachai.
Thank you.
We appreciate your comments.
สวัสดีค่ะ and so